Down with this sort of thing. Careful now.
What is up everybody, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be going through my team selection ahead of double game week 23, which sees both Arsenal and Man City double. Due to the upcoming double game week for Arsenal and City, there are some obvious transfer moves that I may make as I try and load up my team ahead of what is arguably a good double game week for both teams. If you do enjoy the video, then please do drop it a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter at fplfatherted, and without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off in nets for game week 23, we have Kepa, who travels across London to face West Ham in the Olympic Stadium. Kepa yet again became a hero in game week 22 as he returned with a monster 10-point haul in Chelsea's game against Fulham. Chelsea's defensive stability has continued in the recent games and has also been reinforced by the signing of Enzo Fernandez, who provides an extra layer of protection for the back line. Whilst the data only gives Chelsea a 29% chance of keeping West Ham out, I would still back Kepa to come through for managers yet again this week. Moving on to the defensive line for this week, we line up with Trippier, Botman, White and Shaw. With Reece James having returned for Chelsea's fixture against Fulham, I am heavily considering starting him instead of Shaw for this week. Whilst on paper United against Leeds may seem like a better fixture than Chelsea against West Ham, I believe United could face some difficulties at Elland Road due to Casemiro being suspended. Casemiro has been a vital aspect of United's defensive stability this season, and he will be sorely missed for the next few game weeks. Going for James this week could also pay off massively due to his low ownership and high chance of attacking threat when given the licence to roam forward. After having their clean sheet wiped against West Ham last week, I'm hoping Trippier and especially Botman can reward me with a strong defensive performance against a Bournemouth team who has severely lacked a clinical edge this season. Ben White is also not going anywhere this week due to his double game week. However, his form has dipped drastically in recent weeks, so as a player I'm keeping an eye on. My midfield for game week 23 is yet again where most of my transfer moves will take place as I look to prepare myself for the City double game week. Starting off in my midfield, we have Marcus Rashford, who faces Leeds away. After yet another impressive display in double game week 22, it pains me to admit that I made a mistake by going for Haaland as my triple captain in game week 20. With Rashford in such amazing form, those who triple captained him in game week 20 were definitely rewarded. The rest of my midfield sees Bruno and Martinelli start. Whilst Martinelli does have his double game week 23, I am concerned that his minutes could be massively reduced over these next two fixtures as Trossard starts to get more playing time. As we saw in the Everton game, Arteta is not afraid of bringing off Martinelli and putting on Trossard in order to chase after a game. Due to this, Martinelli may be the player who makes way this week. However, as I will discuss later in this video, Bruno could also be on his way out after a successful double game week 22, as I look to bring in KDB or Mahrez ahead of City's double game week 23. KDB being benched in game week 22 has heavily thrown those managers who were looking to bring him in ahead of City's double game week 23, and I would therefore recommend waiting until we get all the info regarding KDB before making our transfer moves. Lastly, my game week 23 attack sees Kane, Haaland and Nketiah all start as I line up with the same attacking line as the previous week. Game week 22 wasn't the best week for my attack as Kane was the only player who returned and also became Spurs' all-time top goalscorer. One of my main worries from game week 22 was how poorly City performed and also how little they made use of Erling Haaland. Whilst Haaland is easily the best striker in the Prem, his full ability is still not being utilised by City. He had no shots during the Spurs game and was practically invisible. If City don't improve, a small argument could be made regarding whether Haaland should remain perma-captain or whether there are better options elsewhere. However, with City having a double game week this week, there's no need to put the armband on anyone else but Haaland. On the bench for game week 23, we have Danny Ward, Almiron, Reece James and Andreas. Whilst it does pain me to bench Almiron with such a good fixture against Bournemouth, I do believe it is the right decision this week based on his recent performances. Although he did have an assist ruled out in game week 22, Almiron's form has severely dipped since the return of the World Cup and is next in the firing block once I put some other fires out. With City, blank game week 25 and Liverpool as his next three fixtures, there's no reason why I still need to own Almiron at the minute. As you can see on screen, this is how the team will line up for game week 23 without making any transfer moves. Only having one free transfer for this week means I'm slightly limited as to what I can do for game week 23. One of my main transfer plans for this week is to bring in either Saka or Odegaard. As I discussed in my transfer tips video, Saka could be an interesting differential. However, due to Odegaard's influence and consistency this season, he may be the better Arsenal asset. Bruno to KDB is also a possible move I could make in order to attack City's double game week. This was my original plan, but due to KDB being benched in the Spurs game and City's lacklustre performance, I'm now questioning whether I even need another City player other than Haaland. That's going to do it for the Game Week 23 team selection video. If you did find the video helpful, then please do drop it a like, subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments down below what your transfer plans are for Game Week 23. Also make sure to follow me on Twitter at fplfatherted. Unfortunately there'll be no deadline stream this week, so I will instead post my final team selection on Twitter before the deadline. Thanks for watching and good luck this Game Week. Into you, a symphony.
send me